Yo, week 11, Matt. The season's flying by, but we did finally see something that you were possibly hoping to see a little bit earlier in the season. Brian Dable officially fired as the Giants head coach.
Yep, saw it coming. We were close, but he's the second head coach fired, but finally pulled the trigger.
So, hey, last year you got the first one, and then this year you got the second one. So
yeah. Hey, at least we saw it coming. Just they finally made the decision. It's weird because we saw the Cam Scadaboo and Jackson Dart experience kind of, keeping his job.
Yeah.
One guy goes down, Cam Scadaboo. Second guy goes down last week, Jackson Dart. We got to monitor his concussion. If he can't go, then we got some more news that it's not Russell Wilson. It's not Russell Wilson back there anymore. It's going to be
what we all want. What we all want.
It's going to be a fun game to see. We also saw a couple more injuries. A weird one, Marvin Harrison Jr. all of a sudden listed because he had a appendectomy. So I don't know. You thought he might be out a couple weeks. I was thinking he was hopefully going to have quick surgery and be back out there, but that's a surprise. That's a surprise injury. You don't think of something like that
after a good week, after a nice week. I mean, he looked pretty good out there. Yeah, I'm gonna guess 2-3 weeks. You said 1, so we'll see what happens.
Yep. What else? Oh, we saw. What did we see? Jets winning. I called it.
Sometimes the writing's on the wall and you ignore it. Not you, just saying we. I mean, we literally said that's exactly what was going to happen. And
the Jets find a way to win for no reason at all.
Without a quarterback.
Throwing for 50-some yards. Special teams just, put on a special team show, a couple touchdowns, punt return and kick return. So that was pretty interesting. And then what was the other? Oh, the other one was the Saints ruined our parlay. Coming out of nowhere and
end up. I took the Panthers minus 5.5, and the Saints. It was a weird week. I mean, Saints and Jets, and it. That was not a pretty one. I will say this: we normally don't do this, but no cheating, no scrolling to the end to see what it is. You need to stay to the end to see what our parlay is this one, because this is the juiciest one that we've ever done.
Absolutely.
And we'll tease it throughout. We'll tease it throughout the the picks, but it's a juicy one. Before we get into this week's picks, I do have my fun little stuff. We'll start off with a smaller one just to get us rolling here. But Derrick Henry, Matt, is the only active player in the NFL that has more rushing touchdowns than Josh Allen. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy. We'll go right back into this one because I've already told this to multiple people about this stat. You want to talk about why Brian Dable got fired? Against the Cowboys, Broncos, and Bears, the New York Giants had a 92.3% chance, a 99.3% chance, and a 96.9% chance of winning late in the fourth quarter in all of those games. Brian Dable lost all of them, and the odds of that happening are 1 in 60,000.
How do you find a way to lose those games? Those are, I don't know. Yeah. So, hey, I called it, and he decided to
listen. If you're a head coach in the NFL and Matt predicts you to be fired, you better buckle up. All right, you better buckle up.
But that's what's interesting. Like, they were doing everything right. They had the opportunity to win these games, and then
Scadaboo and Dart bought him a little time. I mean, we said it earlier. It gave him a little bit of time.
Yep.
Another interesting one. Christian McCaffrey has just 9 fewer carries than Jonathan Taylor this season. JT has 513 more rushing yards and 11 more rushing touchdowns than Christian McCaffrey.
He's saving it for the receiving game is what it comes down to.
Yeah. And then if you're a Lab McConkey fantasy owner, obviously the first 4 weeks you were, why did I take him in the second round? He was wide receiver 56 between week 1 and week 4. Since week 5, he is wide receiver number 4. So he's getting going on that Chargers offense. Kind of a longer one here. I'll just list them off. But Jonathan Taylor has more rushing yards than all of these teams that'll be listed. The Chiefs, Cowboys, Jags, Falcons, Raiders, Steelers, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, Dolphins, Texans, 49ers, Saints, Vikings, Titans, Bengals, Browns, Eagles, Buccaneers, Packers.
If I counted right, that's 20 teams.
4, 8, 12, 16, 20.
Wow. Yeah, JT's just absolutely it's weird.
Eagles, 49ers, Packers, Steelers, like those are some running teams. I mean, Cowboys, like there's Atlanta, like I mean,
It's funny how this league works because what was it a couple years ago? JT was dominant, right?
yep,
Fell off for it's got to be at least 2 years,
2, 3 years.
and then now just asserting his dominance.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yep. So I have two Broncos ones. I know you said you have a Broncos one as well. So we'll start off with one here.
Okay.
On throws over 10 yards, Bo Nix has an off-target rate of 39%, which is ranked 32nd amongst quarterbacks. When Bo Nix is in a clean pocket, he's still off of target 37% of the time, which is also 32nd out of all quarterbacks. Like, dude, how are you like?
And listen, they're what did we say? 8-2.
They are 8-2.
8-2. Let me walk you. So here's my stat. Let me walk you through the Broncos' victories. Okay, they beat a 3-6 Jake Browning led Bengals, 2-7 Raiders team by 3 points, 3-5 Davis Mills Texans by 3 points, Justin Fields by 2 points. They had that crazy comeback against the Giants to beat them by 1 point, and then Cam Ward's Titans by 1 point. So
The Denver
this is
Broncos are pretenders.
this is a weird Broncos team that they're 8-2, but those are some
Yeah,
very
so
interesting wins right there.
you'll love this one then. The Broncos are tied for the NFL's best record at 8-2 at the moment. Somehow, they also lead the league in punts with 53 punts. Is that not the most unique stat line of all
Yeah.
time? Like tied for best record, but number one in the league in points or punts. Like
That's that's funny. That's like the there was a Detroit Lions little montage of Jack Fox, our punter.
Yeah.
And it was him just holding the ball for the field goal and the extra points.
yeah, all of them because you guys never punt.
I know. So that's crazy
Yeah.
to have that many punts and you're still winning these games.
Yep.
But I guess that's what happens when you're winning by 3 points, by 1 point, for all these wins. So
yeah. And then the last one that I have for you, Matthew Stafford since week 4, 20 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Stafford might have thrown himself into the ring for MVP.
yeah, and now he's setting records now too. So he's the first quarterback. So right on par with that first quarterback to have 4 straight 4+ TD games with 0 interceptions.
Yep.
So he's
on a tear.
We thought his back was broken leading into this season, and he's
people were saying that he got cloned in training camp because they didn't think he was alive. Like it was a whole thing, dude. Like,
listen, he got those new veneers.
Oh,
Did you see his chompers?
They've been like that since the Super Bowl.
I know.
It's bad. They need to tint him down a little bit, So yeah, that'll put us right into the matchups this week. We went 8-4 last week consensus. Matt's. I mean, as many that listen to this know, he is number 1 in the Pick'ems League right now at 102-46. So awesome job there, Matt. I'm 97-51. Our consensus is 88-37. I want to try to get that up to like 100 before we hit 40. That'd be sick. So we got to nail some this week. I don't know how many consensus we have, but we start off with a terrible Thursday night football matchup, which this is just another one of those that just has it written on the wall that the Jets would figure out how to win this game against the Patriots
They
in New
better not.
England,
They better not.
it'd be something crazy, dude. Like Justin Fields 12 yards, like it's just something crazy. But yeah, no, I mean I'm taking the Patriots here. I went against them last week when they went against Tampa. Just because I needed to see them, beat a really good team, and Drake May came out and he did exactly what he's been doing all year. So, like I said, I bet on Drake May to be MVP with my own money throughout the season. So, um, I'm stoked to see that he's officially the number one highest odds to win MVP at the moment. So this is one of those where if you're going to be MVP, you gotta just smoke the Jets here on Thursday Night Football and just kind of certify that like you're going to beat every single person that comes into your home stadium.
Yeah, what I wanna see is we saw it last week, finally the dominance out of Travion Henderson. They gave him opportunities, 14 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's what you need out of you give your I mean, you don't give your rookie the opportunities. Obviously, it comes at the
Yeah,
price
he
of
would. Yeah, the other
Stevenson,
rookie,
right?
and the other rookie that was maybe like Terrell or I forget his name. He's another rookie running back though. He got hurt in that game, and that's what led Henderson to get a chance. He wasn't even going to get another chance. So, but
Yep.
like you said, you go in there and you have two explosive. If you saw those plays, explosive plays, you kind of make the head coaches think we might
Give him a
want to give this
chance.
guy the ball, right? Let him roll the
Yeah.
rock a little bit. So yeah, Henderson looked phenomenal. He really did. Um, and then another overseas game, right? I mean, I thought every single time I think we're done. Like,
No, this is now NFL Europe. Um, I think we've basically already expanded at this point
but my
because
thing is do we want them to hate football? Because last week we finally saw a good international game in Berlin, but that was the first one that we saw international wise. We're sending the 3-7 Commanders without Jaden Daniels, and then the 3-7 Dolphins with Tua. Like this is
yeah,
how are we gonna get Europeans on board if this is what we're doing to them?
hey, as long as it's not the Jags every week like it's been the past couple years, I think it's funny to see the different jerseys that are in the crowds though.
Yeah,
Um,
kind
it,
of
you
just
know,
anything. Yeah, it's everything.
it's just yeah, it's a hodgepodge of the different jerseys. It kind of gives the vibes of like a Rob Lowe, NFL logo hat
Yeah.
you're just rooting for football at that point.
Yeah, you're just happy to
Um,
be there. You're just happy it
yeah, so
exists.
it's interesting. I mean, I love the idea of these games, but it almost seems like it's getting out of hand because this is, I've lost track of how many. It's got to be like 6,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, maybe
if not
7.
more at this
Yeah,
point. Yeah,
maybe even more. You're right. So, yeah, it's yeah, obviously we got to the Dolphins in this one, right? I mean, we saw them just have an impressive win against the Bills, which I don't think any of us saw happening. So, make sure you set those fantasy football lineups early if you have, HN or hopefully you don't have anyone else. Okay, like,
Wat
hopefully you don't
Waddle.
need yeah, maybe yeah,
That's about
Waddle. Yeah,
it.
you're right. Maybe that's about it. But yeah. Um, we're we have our first, against each other pick here. Carolina at Atlanta. Um, maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna have to do my own research, and I should have done it beforehand, but I have a million things going on. I swear I gave a stat earlier in the season that when the Panthers played the Falcons and they beat them, and it was like Bryce Young was like undefeated. Like if the Panthers beat the Falcons in the first matchup, because that's what you're looking for right now, I bet. If they
Yep.
beat them, then my stat is it's somewhere along the lines. I'll look back at that episode because we have it marked. But it was in one of my fun stats in the beginning of the episode, and I mentioned that Bryce
Yeah,
Young had never lost a
he's 3
game.
3-1.
Yeah. So
So let's see.
that's kind of my thought process here.
Yeah.
Atlanta just man, they just have still not. I mean, obviously the Panthers come off a loss here against the Saints, which is not
And
ideal.
and that was a brutal loss.
Yeah, it
So I mean,
was.
that's to me, that's why I'm down on them in the way that, the Falcons need to get things moving. That's I'm right there with you. Normally with the Panthers, I like the way they're playing. Just when that's such a brutal loss against the Saints, I think I'm kind of I'm benching them, if you will, at this game. And basically, what it comes down to is, after seeing that, I can't pick them this week. Is what it
Yeah,
came down to.
yeah, that's fair. I went more with with that stat that I said, um, whatever week that was, and sometimes it's man, the Falcons are just both these teams, I feel like are very similar. Maybe the Falcons, maybe a little bit more obviously top heavy with like you know superstar talents, but man, they've looked really bad some weeks. So it's like the
Yeah.
Panthers are probably in a better spot overall as a team because they've improved a lot. Where the Falcons, I mean, I think they want to be like 6-3 at this point, not 3-6. You know, and people kind of expect them to be with as much power as they have on that offense. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm I
well,
I'm really looking for Bijan to just come alive this game.
they have to, man. What is going on
Um,
with Aligier just algae or whatever the hell, whatever allergies, whatever. I mean, fuck that guy.
Tyler
Like,
Algier, yeah, just stealing 2 touchdowns from
dude, is
last
it
week.
Algier? Because I've always said that, but people on the commentator said Allergy or Allergy. I
I
don't know.
I
Is it a Bajan situation?
it
Why can't
might
they just
be.
get a court running back that just has a normal last name? Like
Right. No, I think it's Algier, but,
I don't know.
maybe it's
I don't think these
French, I don't know.
announcers know at this point. I don't know. But then we have a really good one, which I mean, I think when you look at it, this probably could have got flexed to Monday night because obviously being completely unbiased, this Sunday night is going to be some heavy hitters if you
Yep.
can't tell by our thumbnail. Um, but yeah, this matchups is going to be fun. It's tough because I like Josh and I like Baker a lot, and I think it's gonna be fun. And I think they're friends too. So, because I saw them talk, I don't know if you heard the golf talks or whatever, but they were saying they asked Josh Allen like, "What do you think about Baker golfing with 2 gloves?" And Josh just chuckled and said, "Baker does look like a guy that would golf with 2 gloves." So like, I think it's just that friendly whatever. But at the same time, these guys are having the last 2-3 years they've been playing good football. And we're looking at 2 playoff teams here. I mean, it's not out of the possibilities that this is a Super Bowl matchup, right? I mean,
Could be, yeah.
it's not a crazy thing to say here. So with that being said, though, Buffalo coming off a really, really bad loss against the Dolphins. It I kind of saw a perfect tweet about how when the Bills play a Super Bowl contending team, like a Super Bowl possibility, it's like they are so prepared and come out swinging. And then when they play like a team that is not going to make playoffs, like the Miami Dolphins, it's like they don't even practice all week. Like, and
Yeah,
that's what it looked like.
yeah,
Like,
like, playing down to their level, not yeah,
yep,
it's something weird like that because we've seen a couple of these games out of the Bills
yep,
that it's just they do not look like the Super Bowl contenders that we know they can be. Obviously, we've I'm gonna say it every week because it's true. You gotta give James Cook the ball. You don't have a receiving game, so
yeah.
just keep
Kincaid probably out. It's
that's tough. So, you know, feed him the ball, and obviously, um, Josh Allen can run it in himself. So I really like the offensive side of this game. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I think we're gonna see a lot of scores here. I hope it's not the weird, what was it? It was like 16 nothing for 3 quarters of that Bills Dolphins game. So
yeah.
I expect this one, to not be a 0-0 at halftime
Touchdown first drive.
yeah, absolutely. It
Come
might
out
even be a
screaming.
it might be a shot for shot, for those first 2 drives like we see a lot of times when it's, Chiefs versus Bills. We kind of see those, real quick back and forth. I think that's what we'll see here.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree. And then we have the Texans at the Titans. Obviously, easy one here. Texans finding a way. I mean, never really thought they had a chance, but they found a way without CJ Stroud. And I mean, it was the battle of the necks, but
Right.
they did it, you know?
No,
So
26 points in the fourth quarter. That's like a Giants collapse right there. I don't know how the Jags lost that game. I literally I thought that game was a lock when, going in the halftime, going in the third quarter.
yeah,
I did not even know the Texans came back to win that one. That was insane.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of bounce back games for a lot of teams. Like we already mentioned the Bills. I think the Panthers, but the Texans here as well. Um, not to skip, but we're not going to go there yet. But the Packers right on the screen too. They need one back too. So there's a lot of teams coming off of a loss that they're not very happy with. But I just in this one, We've got burned on these though. We got burned on these, and we say you can't do it, but you can't. I mean, how do you take the 1-8 Titans? Really? I mean, how do you like? I would love for someone to explain to me, unless they're just gonna just shoot for the stars. But logically speaking, there's no
Come
reason. There's no reason to not take the Texans here.
Yeah, the only thing is coming off a bye, right? If somehow they're figuring stuff out, um, 2 weeks of preparation, that's the only thing that gives them a chance here. But um, no, I mean we're gonna say it again. Hopefully, it doesn't come back to bite us. But I mean, there's no way. And then again, just like the Jets, why win some games here? If you're the Titans, why win? Why not just keep
Yeah,
your
especially when the
draft
Saints
spot?
and the Jets and the Browns are all winning for some reason when they
Yeah,
shouldn't be. So yeah. And then we have one little bit interesting on the I thought maybe a little bit here. Mine is pretty simple. JJ McCarthy can't throw for 200 yards, unfortunately. Um, I mean, I'm saying that unfortunately because I have him in Dynasty and I have Jefferson. It's definitely hurting me. So like, it is
right.
very unfortunate. Um, but on top of that, dude, like I don't know if you've been seeing it. The Bears and Eagles kind of have like a little alliance going. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but like Eagles fans were chanting "Go Bears" and the Bears fans were chanting "Go Eagles." We got like a little alliance going on right now. I don't know if you know this
Okay.
or not, but
No,
the Bears have taken out the Giants, Cowboys, and Commanders, and the Eagles have taken out the Vikings, Packers, and then we play Detroit this week. So we're looking for the complete sweep here as the Bears and Eagles fans of they take out everyone in the NFC East, and then we take out everyone in the NFC North, and then we play each other on Black Friday. So
that's interesting.
we're gonna do the 3-0 sweep, and then Eagles are gonna beat them. So that's
Okay.
I had to go for it. I had to take my chance. That's all I got. Like there's no other than the fact that the Bears genuinely like Caleb does seem to be settling in. He generally does. He's been very consistent. But other than that, I have to. I mean, for this week, I'm a Bears fan.
That's unfortunate here. I like the things that the Bears are kind of putting together, um, offensively, but the Vikings, they looked good, even though if the offense isn't running crazy, I think they're finding a way to get it done too. So this should be a good matchup here. I like JJ coming back, settling in. He needs a divisional win right here against the Bears to keep moving forward. So
Yeah, he's
um,
already 1-0 against them. So, and
yeah.
then we have the Packers at the Giants. Obviously, I just mentioned the Packers need this one after they just got blown out by the Eagles. Um, Big shootout, 10-7, missed field goal at the end. Terrible field goal. Ball doesn't lie. That's what happens when you kick the field goal attempt when the whistle's blown and the timeout's blown. You still kick it when you're not supposed to, and then you kick a ball 30 yards to the left. That's what you get.
That's what happens.
But lots of Packers fans calling for Matt LaFleur's job. I don't know if you saw that or not, but lots of Packers fans not happy. Not happy with the play calling all season, I guess. So, but just a huge credit to the Packers defense. Packers defense is phenomenal. We mentioned how they're just all around very solid. We didn't see the offensive side of things, but it really was bad play calling. And I mean, same thing with the Eagles. I mean, they need to fire the Eagles offense coordinator because things just still are not consistent. Like when it's rolling and no one can stop it, but it doesn't get rolling consistently enough. And I think the Packers are in the same exact spots, even though their team it's tough to fire a head coach when your team looks as solid as they do, right? It's you chalk up a bad week to a bad week, especially to a Super Bowl champion team. But this is one it's gonna be interesting, like we're gonna be teasing it, but we have a little specialty on this one for the parlay. Um, Obviously, we're kind of predicting that Jameis Winston will be the starter in this one. So that Packers defense is gonna be very, very strong and hopefully get us what we need later on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Packers defense is really looking strong. And I think it was great to see a defensive battle against the Eagles, but you also have to have some offense of plays. I like seeing Christian Watson out there. Um, but they got to figure out. I think it was Dobbs banged up again.
Yep. Just like he ran a route and then hurt his chest. I don't know if you saw that. Like it wasn't even like a contact play. He was just running a route and then went to the sideline.
Yeah. So
So
they'll figure it out. against the Giants. Yeah, coming out of concussion protocol is definitely tough, especially if it's a rookie. I don't know why you would rush him back at this point. So that's why we fully expect Jameis Winston to be the wild card he is.
Yep.
Right. So he's gonna be chucking the ball, which we love to see. I think this is just the bad defensive matchup to do that against. So I see a couple picks coming the Packers' way, and we'll see if they can take a couple to the house.
And we have the Bengals at Pittsburgh. Some news: Joe Burrow, as of today, Wednesday night, he was on the field practicing today, jumping around on that toe, which is good to see. He aims for coming back next week, but realistically says he should be back by Thanksgiving. So you mentioned it earlier, Matt, to me. We both picked this. We didn't know that Joe Burrow was going to show up to practice. At least I didn't know, unless you talked to him. But
Let me check my phone. He might have
he
sent.
he's texting me all
Yep.
the time. Yeah,
Yep.
as I
He
say,
actually did say,
yeah,
make sure you bring it up because
yeah, he's
plan to
texting
come
you all the
back.
time, and it's like, Joe, we can only talk about so much. But we mentioned it, right? You go 4-6 here. Steelers go 5-5. We have the Ravens beating the Browns. The Browns go 5-5. So then they're still just a game out. I don't know what their schedule looks like in terms of next week, who they play, but you got to win one out of two of these next games if that's what Joe is coming back with, because that division still is for the taking.
Absolutely.
But you can't fall to 3-8. So
Yeah,
just
you can't lose.
Claw your way to 5-6.
Yeah, you can't lose to, obviously it's the Steelers too, right? You can't lose this game. This is the game again, kind of like I talked about Ravens back against the walls last week. They got to keep winning. Same thing here. Bengals, this is a must-win game right here. I mean, your season could be on the line with a loss here. So we'll see it, and then hopefully keep resting up. Joey B, get back out there.
Yeah. I mean, it would be very ideal for him to be able to get back out there, because I'm looking at it now. They're at Pittsburgh this week. Then next week they play the Patriots. So if Joe Burrow's not back for that, they probably lose that against Drake May. And then they play Baltimore, Buffalo, Baltimore. So, and then it gets a little easier:
Tough.
Miami, Arizona, Cleveland. So they should end up 3 on the end of it. But I mean, they got to get through this. The next 5 are tough. Pitt, Pats, Baltimore, Buffalo, and Baltimore again. So there's not much room to come back here. So you gotta claw your way through some of these 50-50, not even 50-50s. You gotta claw some through these the ones
Right.
the ones that you're not favored in, and get some Joe Flacco magic
Just
going.
throw 15 times to
Just throw
Jamar
the
Chase.
ball 35 times to Jamar Chase.
35, yeah.
I mean,
That'll
it was
work.
20. It was 23 and it worked, or whatever the hell it was.
True.
22, whatever it was. I don't care. If he catches it, he catches it. And he probably will.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. This one's got a fun game on it. Chargers at the Jags. This is not the fun game, but it should be good. We'll see. Obviously, me and you going Chargers. You're still hanging on to the AFC West of them taking it. I mean, neither one of us had the Broncos, so that it's just really weird. The Broncos can't win it, right? I mean, they're pretenders. There's still 7 games
Yep.
left to go. So
Fraudulent Lane too. So
there's too much time for them to screw that up, especially when they lead the league in punts. But anyways, Chargers, you know, love them. I love them. Like I'm in.
yeah,
I'm bought in. I want to buy a Chargers jersey. Is there like a rule I can't do that?
it's an AFC team. Yeah, go ahead.
Cool.
I feel like you
I
can.
want a powder blue with the yellow.
Yeah, though that's a good jersey right there.
Imagine that right there, dude.
Yeah.
If Herbert wins MVP, I'll buy powder blue with the yellow. That's my. You can clip it. That's my. I mean, I guessed it in the beginning of the season. So if he does do that
Right.
for me, I owe him. I owe him his jersey.
Deal.
And then I'll send him a picture of me in it with nothing but the jersey.
You're gonna Winnie the Pooh it?
Yeah, I'm gonna Winnie the Pooh. I'm gonna get like an XL, just so I could like swim in it. Madison Beer would be so jealous, dude. I won't do that to her. But no, I mean, I love this matchup. I mean, I didn't think the Jags should lose against the Texans here, right? Last
Right.
week. So if the Jags, this is, I think I might have said it to them. In fact, also, you're welcome. We skip right past that. Like, I completely jinxed the hell out of Green Bay. I told them the best team in the NFL overall. Everything else, they lose to the Panthers, then they lose to us. Not that us
That's
is like a
true.
bad thing, but I'm just saying, like, I did say it, and they went from 5-1-1 to 5-3-1. So
Great reverse jinx. I appreciate that.
yeah, you're welcome. But I might have did it to the Jags too, because I literally not reverse jinx, but I actually called it because when they were like 5-2, I was like, I think they start trending downwards, and then they're 5-4 here. So I just don't see this is the one that they get back in the win column on. I just don't.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
it's
see it
tough. It's tough seeing, and then the I don't know if you saw the Travis Hunter news.
out
He
for the year.
is done. That was going to be a interesting piece of that offense. You know, he finally came alive. Finally had his breakout game, and then now he's done, which is, you know, that's always tough to see. So yeah, I mean, I think we're going to continue the trend with Brian Thomas Jr. not figuring this thing out in year two. So
And that's what I we didn't mention the Travis Hunter thing earlier in a little recap because we do miss some stuff and we wait for it to get into the games like we just did. But did the Jags know? Like, is that why they got Jacoby Myers? Like, that was my thought process as soon as I heard the news, I'm like, did they know, like, there was a possibility that he's done?
yeah,
And
that's
they were just
interesting.
and they were just getting a couple, like, other expert opinions on it, and then they was like, "Let's go get a wide receiver before this thing is official because if it is, then we're screwed." Like,
Right, and then, yeah, they know that their back's against the wall to where, you know, they're a little bit more desperate, and then maybe that
yeah,
shifts
because
the
then if you don't have Jacoby Myers, all you have is Brian Thomas, and he's questionable this week again, but he's been nothing this year, so you're left with, I think, Parker Washington, which shout out to Parker Washington. He had 2 touchdowns last week. But that's not ideal, right? I mean,
Yeah, I think you kinda nailed it, that they must have known that it
not
was
holding back, like, should be fine. I just
no,
mean,
just
like,
more likely than not, they knew they weren't gonna rush him back either way, maybe.
yeah,
Maybe they didn't know it was gonna, you know, be a surgery, but maybe they
you
knew
got that
that.
second opinion, and then all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh, like, yeah, that was as soon as it happened, I was like, wow, that must have been the exact reason why they went out and got Myers. They bought low, and he's 28, I think, so it's like, well, we'll see. I don't think it really matters. Herbert and the offense, man, they look good, so but another really fun matchup. We're kind of spoiled with a couple here. I think that
Yeah, a lot of
Tampa.
tough
I
games,
think I
you
think the
know.
Tampa Bills game is going to be really fun to watch. I think the Bears Vikings can be fun to watch. I think even the Panthers Falcons, the Bengals Steelers, and then I think the Chargers Jags like that. I mean, we're going to have a interesting that kind of afternoon, the early afternoon slate.
Yep.
But this one is going to be a really fun one, man. The Seattle Seahawks versus the LA Rams in LA. Obviously LA favored. We just talked about all the Stafford stats. Mine's simple. I love Seattle's offense right now. I think it's going to take a week. I said about a week or two to get Rashid Shaheed kind of up to date with what's going on there. And I think this will be the matchup that you're going to see some deep balls to him, open up some stuff to JSN. Um, but Seahawks are my NFC West team that I picked to win the division. I think the Rams are yours, unless you pick the 49ers. I think you picked the Rams though. So this is
Let's
looking
see. Nope, I shifted to 49ers.
okay. I just if you told me it was the Rams, I would have believed you because I know that is a team that you definitely do
Yep.
like. But these are the games. Yeah, I rode with Seattle pretty much every week, besides maybe one. So I gotta stick with them here and gotta stay loyal to that. And I'll just say this: the Rams are bringing out their dark, like it's like black midnight blue jerseys. I still think Seattle should bring out the neon greens. Not the ones that we like, but I'm just saying the
No,
neon
yeah, the
greens. All
other
neon
alternate
greens.
yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like a midnight blue, so it's almost like black, but it is blue. And it's like, dude, that would be an electric jersey
That would be
matchup. I
pretty
know the
cool.
Rams are coming out with it. I bet you Seattle just comes out with their typical white with the gray pants, and it's just their away jerseys. But still, it
Yeah.
would be very, very awesome to see.
I think this one is. I love the quarterback matchup in this one. I think we're going to see, 300 yards plus from both and 3 touchdowns from both. And then it's going to come down to who can get that 4th touchdown or, field goal, who gets the ball. I always say that when it's Stafford involved, it's if he has the ball with any time left on the clock and he's driving down with a chance to win it, you better look out because he's going to win it. And I think that's the type of matchup I have here is I think it's going to come down to, that last possession, that last, if you have time left on the clock. Sam Darnold's looking great. He can do it. But if Stafford has that ball, he's going to drive down and score.
Yeah, him and Baker are two guys that are pretty dangerous. You see like a minute 20, minute 10, no timeout. You're like, uh-oh, we might have left too much time.
Yep.
One thing I didn't bring up, which it goes right to your point, which I'll ask you right now before I even say it. Over 48.5. Taking it?
Yeah, over for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Because on top of that, we mentioned, we did the week 6 leaders still in top 5 right now. JSN, Puka, and Darnold and Stafford. So we're looking at 2 top 5 matchups with quarterbacks and wide receivers in the league here. So like you said, should be an absolute shootout. Should be a lot of fun to watch. And then, before I just thought when I was thinking of jerseys, Thursday night, the Patriots. Look out for those jerseys. They're going to be rocking some new ones as well. I like them. So
I haven't seen them yet.
yeah, they're pretty cool. So check. They're not like they haven't introduced these yet. They're the Color Rush ones or whatever the hell they call them. So it's like a blue with a gray, and they look clean.
I heard about the Northeastern. I heard about those, but I haven't seen them yet.
Yep. Yeah, and then
yeah, those look good.
Yeah, they look really good. Like I said, dude, the key
That's
is the
cool.
helmet. The key is the helmet. They did a new logo for the Patriots, like with it. So I'm telling you, that is a key when it comes to these jerseys is the helmets. But then we have the 49ers at Arizona. This is one we already see the line move. Me and you were texting earlier, talking about our parlay, and I was thinking about taking 49ers minus 2.5. The Harrison news broke. It goes to -3 immediately, which isn't a big change. Isn't tremendous, but I think it's interesting that it went that way. Like in terms of if you're talking about -2.5 and you lose up Marvin Harrison, I'm thinking 2 points, 3 points, right? They value Marvin Harrison at 0.5 after coming off a really big, week. It's like I guess I was shocked by that. I was expecting it to be 5.5, maybe 6.5, but I think me and you talked about it. I think the Cardinals are just such a weird team right now. We saw them go 2-0. We preached how they shouldn't be 2-0, and then Kyler basically told us like, yeah, we shouldn't be 2-0. Here's all these losses you guys basically said we're gonna have.
Yeah, would they get to like 2-5 at that
Call of
point?
Duty's dropping tonight when this gets released, and now he's not playing anymore. So, but then the Cardinals get better. So that's why it's so weird. Like McBride literally has more touchdowns in 5 games with Brissett than he has in 3 seasons with Murray. That's insane. And it isn't due to injuries. Like McBride's been healthy. Like there's no reason for that to be a real stat, and it is. So it's one of those things where we saw like when Dobbs did it in Arizona too. Like he just brought life to an Arizona team that was stagnant. And I'm gonna call it here. I think Kyler's career is done in Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, when you see the him going on IR, it's almost as of we don't want to bench you, so we're gonna put you on IR because we are a better team with Jacoby right now. So
And I sent you the video of him at practice where he was running around looking fine, right?
Absolutely.
The
That's
morning of
what I'm
them.
saying. I think it was the only organizational move to not admit that
You just paid a fuck ton of money to this
that
guy.
you need to get rid of your franchise quarterback, but
Yeah.
that's the only safe way to do it for the public opinion that you can now kind of figure out what you need to do in the offseason. So
But what do you think about the point thing though? Did you think it would go up higher than 2.5?
I don't. It's always weird because I feel like the home team should always still, for better or for worse, still have the crowd atmosphere, kind of keep it close. Would you say it opened at 2.5?
It was 2.5 this morning. The news broke and it just went to 3. Like, I think I thought maybe a point at least. Like, I know that's not
Yeah.
much, but I'm just saying, like, 3.5, I wouldn't take 3.5. I don't like 3.5 at all for anyone. I hate that
Yeah.
number.
So I
Um,
d so I
but
don't
that's what
know.
yeah.
I mean, I feel
It
like
almost feels like
this.
a trap. That's why I'm scared about this game. Like, it almost feels like
Yeah.
the Cardinals are gonna win this game.
Or, I mean, it's one of those things, yeah, they're gonna keep it close either way too, right? So,
Yeah. I don't know.
yeah, this is a weird
Weird
one.
weird one, but we'll take the 49ers and close our eyes and see what happens. Um, the Ravens, though, like you said, you nailed it last week. Back against the wall, needed the win. They got it done. Henry's still just not having the year that he'd like. We do like him to have a bounce back. We were gonna take it, we didn't take it, but you know, Henry, anytime touchdown here might not be a bad one. But if you're the Browns, you just lost to the Jets. Just keep losing. Just keep
At
losing.
this
Just
point, yeah.
just keep losing. Stop.
No, listen, this is no, it's not gonna be. I was gonna say, this is the week we get to see,
He
um
starts a sentence. This is no, it's not.
no, it's
He wanted to like hype himself up too. He said, "This is the." No, dude, it's
no,
not. Just go ahead and finish it. Go ahead and finish. Let me hear it.
I wanna see Shador Sanders get an
Oh,
opportunity, but then I have to stop myself because I don't want it against the Ravens because then he's not gonna showcase anything. So, eventually, I do think you gotta give him at least a shot, just to show that he's not, an elite quarterback either, to show that the Browns made the wrong decision twice in last year's draft. But at the same time, you still wanna throw him out there, give him an opportunity because, Dylan Gabriel,
not the guy.
he's not getting it done
You're
either.
not that
So,
guy, pal. You're not that
yep.
guy. And then we have 3 more matchups. We got obviously Sunday night, Monday nights, one more afternoon, and then the teams in the bye are the Colts and the Saints. Broncos against the Chiefs at Denver. You knew we were going with this. I didn't think you were going Denver. I don't think you thought I was going Denver with this
No,
one.
it's I hate
The
I hate
Denver
picking the
Broncos
Chiefs.
are the pretenders of the
Yep.
NFL right now. And these are the type of matchups that they will get exposed on. Like the Chiefs will go into Denver and they will beat them. Like what other 8-2 team do you see at plus 170, plus 20 and home? I mean, that goes to tell you everything you need to know about that. This is a tough matchup for the
Yep.
Chiefs though, because their defense is tough. Their defense is really tough. So the Chiefs are gonna have to play some good football, but that's what they're known for, good coaching. So, but yeah, the Broncos in trouble. J.K. Dobbins, you know, I don't know if they're in trouble though. R.J. Harvey looks good, but I just mean like it's not ideal. And Bo
Yeah.
Nix is not the guy.
Yeah, I mean, J.K. Dobbins was looking good. You hate to see another injury because of it's weird that the NFL implements the rule to eliminate these injuries,
They don't
and
call
now I
it.
feel like this is the 3rd injury that we've seen due to the hip drop tackle. So, what's the point? If you literally didn't even call the hip drop that got the injury, and now we've got another, you hope to see because he had a devastating injury that he's coming back from, already, and now you get a stupid injury like this. So, it's sad to see, but yeah, exactly what you're saying. RJ Harvey, young guy's looking good, so this is his opportunity, against the Chiefs team to kind of show that you're the premier back. You hate to see a guy having to step in because of a stupid injury like that, but at the same point, I think he's got a great opportunity here. But, you know, I'm going to say it every week when it's the Chiefs. Chiefs and the refs are always going to, be favored here, against a team that we've pointed out. The Broncos are winning a lot of weird 1 point, 2 point games against some bad teams. So when they match up against the Chiefs here, I think they lose.
Yep. And then we have the matchup of the week. I think everyone could agree. Detroit at Philly. Matt, you are the guest here, so I'll let you go first. You're coming into our stadium, so I'll let you go first and give me the breakdown. Completely unbiased too, by the way. Like I mentioned it before, like we've been talking about this has been circled on ours. It's not encircled in a way of like like fuck Matt, fuck Jake, whatever. It's more of just like it's that juggernaut part of the schedule for both of us where let's see a future NFC championship and see what happens. Like let's see where our
Yep.
teams lie at this position. So it's not going to be obviously we're going to pick whatever, but you're still going to get our honest takes about where our teams are at this point, being 6-3 and 7-2.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, coming off of a loss. Um, you know, I knew Lions were going to come out strong, and a cool thing that they did to kind of change things up too after a loss was Dan Campbell was calling offensive plays.
I loved it.
So
I had it screenshotted too and I deleted it. I'm sorry. I literally had his drives like all how all the drives ended up that game. It was insane. It was
yeah, so
insane.
so it's one of those things where you're shaking it up and it worked. They scored 44 points. So you saw utilization kind of everywhere. Um JMO, I love like we've talked about it before. You get him the ball, he's making stuff happen, and he did. It was great to see. Um Gibbs explosive game again after an absolute stinker. So the offense was humming, and then obviously the defense too. So it's I love this matchup in the sense where I just saw you guys coming off a short week. It was just a defensive battle, right? So I feel like the Lions defense can match up just the way Green Bay did against you, but then it's our offensive game that really excelled that kind of is going to make sure that we have an opportunity to win here. You know, are the Eagles gonna do a crazy fourth down call at the end of the game, and it's gonna come back to bite you? It could, right? When it's against a Lions team that's gonna do the same thing, it's those battle of the fourth downs and in field position. It can really decide this game. So we know you guys are going to take some of those gambles. You obviously know we're going to take some of those gambles, and I think it's who ends up kind of ahead on those fourth down calls and can keep the ball. You've got an opportunity to win the game.
Yeah. Before I get into my Eagles thing, I don't have the whole thing, but one thing because it would take too long because it's a long one. But the
Right?
one I found I would love. Dan Campbell calling plays for the first time this season. 44 points, 226 rushing yards, 320 passing yards, 546 total yards, and a win. So awesome. I mean, it's really, really awesome. I actually want to, if you can, remind me about Dan Campbell taking the play calling, like when we get done with the pod lay. Because right as we're wrapping up something, I have something I want to talk about, but I might forget. So just that's my pin of like putting it there. So hopefully you'll remember. Um, Going into this matchup though, I love it. I mean, I love it. I literally love the offense that the Lions have. I do. I think most teams in the NFL are like jealous that you guys just can. I think this year's been more so like it's been there and then it's been off and then it's been there, it's been off. Like last year, it was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, this is a train and you need to move or keep up. Like, and there was no in between. This year, it's been whatever. But I think that's why Dan Campbell takes over, right? Is he wants it to be more consistent and he thinks he can do that job. So the way I look at it is I'm not even taking low blows. Jared Goff does struggle more outdoor, and I'm hoping for a really, really cold Philly game here. I'm hoping for
Yep.
really, really
Weather
cold,
rolling in.
really, really cold Philly rain, like or snow, like something. Make them whatever. But even if it doesn't get to that point, um, the defense is hot right now. We just saw obviously what they did against Green Bay, really showing up. And I think that's where it kind of is funny because like your defense isn't really showing up, but your offense is. Our offense isn't really isn't showing up, but our defense is. But like your defense has a chance to show up, but then our offense has a chance to show up too. So it's like I almost feel like this is gonna be one of those weird games where our offense shows up and our defense doesn't, but then your offense is like keeping up with ours, but then your defense also does. It's gonna be like a weird like it's not gonna be the same identity that we've seen from our teams. I feel like it's gonna be so because they're almost game planning for this so much that it'll like switch the identities because they're gonna be more reliant. You guys are gonna be more reliant on your defense, and we're gonna be more reliant on our offense, and it's gonna be like a weird dynamic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Um, so it's gonna be whatever, but I could totally see it coming down to some gutsy call here. The one thing I love, like I said, is that we're in Philly. That's the one thing that gives me a lot of hope here is being 7-2 being home in this matchup and not being in Detroit like it's been the last 2 or 3 years that we played you. Um, because I think in this, if you guys are home, I think it really does favor you guys a lot. But I think that's an advantage for us. Um, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I think it's interesting that it's 46.5 though. So I think even Vegas knows like it could end up being that weird like punt, punts, like just
Yeah.
kind of like just taking jabs, seeing what happens until something pops. So we'll see. But it's definitely one that if you guys don't have anything going on Sunday night, you're gonna want to sit down on that couch and watch this game because I think it could be a lot of fun.
And we're spoiled that it's a I'm kudos to that NFL again. They finally make the right decision and get the
Did they
primetime
flex this
game.
out?
I thought so. I didn't think this
Oh,
was
okay.
I didn't
I had
think
no
this was
idea.
originally. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. I never knew. Because I never read nothing that it got flexed. So yeah, and then we have the Monday Night Football game. Dallas at the Las Vegas Raiders. Um, yeah, Dallas 3-5-1. Not looking pretty over there. Um, it's the NFC East is really looking wide open for my Eagles. Which it's funny because the Cowboys were favored the same odds to win the division as the Eagles, and we see how that worked out for them.
Yep.
But ironically, we're both taking the Cowboys here. Yeah, I'm just that Thursday night watching the Raiders, man. I was like, Geno Smith is fucking bad, dude.
You didn't
Like
like that
Geno Smith and Bo
10-7
Nix,
game there?
Geno Smith and Bo Nix are literally. It was like they were playing football with the helmets on backwards. Like they weren't even looking. So my take is, yeah, the Raiders probably put up some points. Genty anytime touchdown, right? I mean, like the Raiders probably put some points, but the Cowboys are just going to get that train rolling and they're just, I mean, 50.5 in a game that's involving the Raiders that just put up 7. So I think that goes to show you everything that, like I said before, there's 2 best offenses every single week that I like, and it's the Cowboys and then whoever the Cowboys are playing. So just another one of those matchups.
Yeah, I want to see CD. I want to see Pickens. I want to see Javante just get those stats up. I think this is the type of game where they both have a chance to go 100 plus receiving, and then Javante, like we've seen all season, just gets an opportunity to get in the end zone a couple times again too. So, um, it just it's so funny to see a 50.5 over under when it's the Raiders here, and for some reason it's a close one. Like I don't see why the Cowboys can't be favored more, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The lines have been weird this week when I see them, I'm like, man,
yeah,
I don't know. It's and then like I said earlier, the Colts and Saints on a bye. I mean, I think JT can use it after traveling that far to put up 3 touchdowns and 200 and something yards, 242 yards, more rushing yards than JJ McCarthy and Justin Fields had passing yards combined. So, but yeah, probably the biggest odds parlay that we have done in the history of the Talks Within Reach. By far the biggest one that we've done this season.
calling our shot.
Calling our shots. We got a 2-leg of Amika Egbuka anytime touchdown score, and then the Green Bay Packers defense anytime touchdown. I mean, Matt, that was all you. You texted to me bright and early this morning, and I kind of I was thinking about it all week or all day, and then the more we talked about it, like pre-production, and I just told you I was like, I'm in, and you kind of looked at me like, all right, like you didn't think we'd go with it, and then I was kind of just like, I think I'm in. Like
Yeah, this is one of those. We see Jersey Jerry hitting an absolute banger.
yeah.
Um, it's one of those things where you get that feeling, and it's a great. This is the matchup for it. Is Jameis Winston, geez, um, who we know just is reckless with it. It's good. It's the good and the bad of him playing there. So I think the Packers have a great opportunity here to get in the end zone on the defensive side of it. And then, you're calling the young guy, and I think it's perfect because that matchup with the Bucks and the way he's been getting in the end zone, I think it's a great call to kind of balance this one out.
Yeah, plus 220, $50 wins 660. So that
This is the big one.
this is the big one. I mean, that would cover a lot.
Yep.
That would pretty much cover. I mean, what 10 weeks? That would literally cover 13 weeks of bets. So it's a juicer. If you guys don't want to tail it, we understand it. I mean, even if you want to straight bet that Green Bay and throw, I think $10 would win 55 or something like that. So I mean, it might be worth a flyer if you're willing to take a risk with us. Before we head out, Matt, awesome talks, awesome takes on the games, even the ones we disagree with. It's always fun to see how the other one analyzes the games. Um, but one thing I wanted to bring up, and it kind of just reminded me when you mentioned the Dan Campbell thing. And feel free, correct me if I'm wrong, and tell me that I'm not thinking the right way. Are we witnessing the part like the era of the NFL that is so lackluster in quarterback IQ, or are we witnessing the lackluster of talented offensive coordinators? And so think about that question. The way I'm thinking about it though is when growing up, I don't remember ever hearing about Drew Brees' offensive coordinator, Big Ben's offensive coordinator, Philip Rivers' offensive coordinator, Tom Brady. I mean, obviously he had a good one with Josh McDaniels. But even when we went to Buccaneers, um, Rodgers, like you just keep going down list of quarterbacks. Stafford, like it was never the offensive. I mean, even Stafford now. When you have these elite guys that could go to the line of scrimmage and make decisions by themselves, it's like that was never in play. When these quarterbacks are struggling now, they blame the offensive coordinator, not the quarterback anymore. And I get it, the play call, but how many times did Peyton go up to the line, or Brady go up to the line, or Eli go and they made changes and then made the play? And like I just got to thinking, like, I never heard this much offensive coordinator talk, like ever. And now it's just I get it.
Yeah.
I get what they're saying. I understand like when you look at the play call, like, wow, that looks bad. But you don't think there was bad play calling picks like when Manning went up to the line and didn't fix it, or Brady didn't fix it, or Rodgers, or I mean, look at Roethlisberger, for example. We'll just stick with the Steelers. Top passer his whole career. He leaves, and then it's been offensive coordinator issue and quarterback issue. But he was fine for 15 years there. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's the new wave of these offenses, like, yeah, they're trying to do all these flashy things. They're trying to but it's kind of the recognition of, to me, it's Stafford. To me, Stafford can see the exact play call. Sean McVay is a genius of. I remember the clip of him basically Sean McVay just like rattling off this 30-second play call, right? But Stafford gets it. Something clicks with that. So I don't know if some of these young guys coming in,
that's what I mean.
if it's just not quite the same developmental, either obviously recognizing it on film, then with the play call, and then basically implementing something new. I don't know, because I think maybe we were just spoiled with some of these big names and being able to do it no matter what,
Yeah.
versus I think they're still learning. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where like I can then I try to think about too, like maybe defensive coordinators even got better because of the technology that's being used to, you know what I mean, whatever. But then also like I was thinking like the same time, how many guys look at Cam Ward? Like that's you draft a guy 101 and the guy is in no shape or form to be ready to go. And it's not
Right.
his fault. It's a failing organization. But they bombard him into the Jets, the Browns, the Raiders, all these organizations. They bombard their quarterbacks they draft high up and expect them to be these guys, and they don't build them around anything. And what they do is they dumb down the playbooks for them to understand, rather than like when Manning and Rodgers and all these guys came in, they like learned and they wait like so that's where I was thinking all kinds of stuff that I just want to pick your brain on it because I was like I started thinking about it. I'm like, man, are the quarterbacks just getting are they dumbing down the playbook so much because quarterbacks are more talented, right? But maybe not IQ wise. Like they don't understand the game as much, like in
True.
terms of reading everything. And that goes for every quarterback. Like that goes for
I
I
mean, I
mean,
just I just think of it as like what I want out of them is I want Gruden to go in there
oh my
and do
gosh, that's the other thing I was gonna bring up, dude. Gruden going to New York, and I was gonna bring it up, but I
right.
don't I don't want it to happen, man, because I'm gonna have to be. against like I'm gonna have to hate Gruden, and I don't want to do
Right.
that because Gruden loves Jackson Dart, and you're telling me that Gruden wouldn't love Cam Scadaboo? Like, so not to take this
Absolutely.
thing off the rails, but I was like, man, I just I see that like I just people. I mean, I don't know. I started seeing like so much about offensive coordinators so much, and it's like I just feel like these guys, if you go up to and you don't like the play, especially guys like Jalen Hurts or guys like just better Jordan Love, right? Like they're good enough to go up to the line and make a decision and change it and then not get benched for it. You know what I'm saying? Like you
It
can't
might be, I mean, it could be at the college level too. It could be them not developing these types of systems, and then so they're getting
yeah.
thrown into it, and they can't adapt to it.
Yeah. I would just love to know like genuinely like like if there's something out there that's been studied or maybe a statistic that shows something cuz like I'm not maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Like maybe these are better guys and it is offensive coordinators just having more responsibility than they usually did. I don't know. Like I have no idea. So but yeah, if you know down in the comments or you have an idea or agree with us or you have a thing, I mean feel free to let us know because that's definitely an interesting topic that was just kind of floating in my mind this whole week because I just been seeing so much about firing Kevin Petula, and then I seen Jordan Love like with his play calling, the Packers fans want that guy fired. It's just like I don't know. I just don't remember that being the thing with Rodgers and Big Ben and Brady and Eli or Peyton or Rivers or Matt Ryan. Like none of that was a thing with those guys, and so that's why I
Right.
was just like, man, I don't know. Like maybe we did get spoiled, or maybe they're just not developing them enough to like they just keep dumbing things down for them to understand it more because they're more athletically talented where they can make things happen with their legs. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. So, but another a great episode, week 11. We'll see what happens, Matt. We're going to be really excited when the parlay hits. Obviously, we'll be making plenty of
Abs
posts about it.
absolutely.
But as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate you guys' time. It's been an awesome season so far, and we hope to continue that as we're only about halfway through, technically, like with playoffs and everything. So we're at the halfway marker, and we're growing, and we appreciate you guys. And yeah, we will see you guys next week. Later.
See you.